Thank you for attending the virtual roadshow, and I'm talking to Aretha Parker from the Western Cape Business Opportunities Forum. What are some of the ways that Wecbof can help SMME owners to grow their small business?
Wecbof actually stands for the Western Cape Business Opportunities Forum. It's been in existence for the last 25 years. And if you go back in history, 25 years ago, it was actually as a result of being the voice of the colored people. And slowly, with the changes and transformation, today Wecbof stands as a membership-based organization, allowing anybody to be a member as long as you are a registered company with SIPC and all that. And if you are not, then I hold their hand and get them to get all the compliances done. So it has got a nice history, 25 years. We've got members, the founders are very impressive. When I joined as a CEO of Wecbof 5 years ago, it looks like a long time ago, but 5 years ago when I became the CEO, actually, Wecbof had founders like Trevor Manuel, Cascovadia. Those were the people who actually got this movement going forward. We have founder members still in existence. We've got members who are doing so well for themselves. We've got, if you know, Mr. Chris Son, and he is one of the founders of Wecbof and grew his company from that. We've got another member, for example, Palash Murli, who's got his own company called the Olympia Paint International. So we've got people who have really come a long way being part of this organization. What we do is we hold their hand. I like to use the word, we hold their hand. We are a little organization. We don't have many members, and I say that very proudly. I've got around 550 members, but we take care of those members. We have time to look after them. Especially the crux of the matter came when we had COVID-19. And it really gave us and made us face challenges financially for ourselves as an organization, but also challenges for our SMMEs. Because if you look at it, at least 90% are SMMEs. Then you've got the 10% which include corporates and medium-sized and large companies. When it came to the COVID-19, I had to decide, what can we do? How do we take? Because remember, it was always the face-to-face, the one-to-one meetings that really gave the difference to Wecbof. I was always there at the office for them. Anybody come anytime between 8:30 and 3 o'clock, Arifa is always there. Help them here, help them there. But now how do we do? So it was technology that brought in the changes for us. Remember, SMMEs can be great business people. But when it comes to technology, as we saw now, we are really a little backwards. We are still struggling, we are still fighting. But it is amazing that I see our SMMEs in the age group of 40s, 50s, 60s taking up this challenge. And I just have to tell them, if I can do it, you can do it. Let us work together. And so I'm no IT tech. But my IT people actually hold my hand and explain to me. And I write notes, Simon. I go to the extent of writing notes so that when my member has trouble, I said, did you try this? Did you go like this? And did you do this? They're saying, Arifa, you're amazing. I said, yes, I know I'm amazing. Because I take the trouble of learning everything that I have to do at this age. But these are the challenges that are coming. And COVID taught us that it's not the end of the world. We have to find that little light at the end of the tunnel. And as a result of that, I think Wecbof has come tops in it. The first thing I did was, I got my IT lady in communications to make sure that Wecbof website, which is www.wecbof.co.za, be updated with all the information, the government and everybody, everywhere that I get from. It's a good thing that I've got a good network. and I'm in direct contact with the provincial government. They let me know what is happening. I add all that information on the website. As a matter of fact, I was surprised that lots of non-members, and especially from different provinces, were getting into the website and finding a lot of information that was available for them. And then we had that first challenge where the government was helping us in funding SMMEs, grant funding and all that. I took that opportunity and I started spreading the news out. I also have the opportunity as a Wecbof member and a CEO to talk on the radios, and I started telling everybody, I use media left, right and center. And that is how I always tell the people, you've got to start changing. Then I found that people who were set in their ideas, especially the SMMEs, when this challenge of COVID came about, they said, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's nothing we can do now. I had to get them to redirect their ideas, their energies, because they were set in their ideas. I had to tell them, let's go back to their vision and mission. There are things that you can do now. There are opportunities that are coming now that you can start diversifying into and looking and seeing how you can do things. We had many of our members, and I'm proud about this, that many of our members, after many of our talks that we had, started saying, Arifa, we are not going to close our business. What we have decided is we are going to be very open with our staff and tell them that if we want to exist, we will have to take a step back, cut down on salaries till time allows us. Even we as owners are going to cut down on our salaries. And we will make sure that you get a job and we have a job and things, at least there's a plate of food on the table every day. As a result of this, many of our SMMEs are still in existence. There is another challenge that we had. They were used to having me get all the international delegations coming here, opportunities opening. For some period, at least for 1 year, there was nothing. There was no meetings and no delegations, nothing. But in last month, I started that whole thing going again. We had the first delegation, a virtual delegation I'm calling here, from Philippines. That went very well, lots of opportunities coming. And last week we had the Indian Chamber of Commerce and their delegation. But the most beautiful thing came out was that we had interest in investments and joint ventures between Maharashtra, where Mumbai is, the state of Maharashtra, and Odisha, which is another province on the east side of India. Both of them very, very excited about meeting members from our side and opening doors and opportunities. As a matter of fact, they are sending me letters now to let me know, Arifa, when COVID gets over, we are going to set up the first invitation to people to come over, come and see how can we help South Africa? How can we start doing business? And I always tell them, Cape Town should be used as a platform to go into Africa. So this is some of the opportunities. The best part is we are a one-stop shop for our members when they are in trouble. And when I say trouble, it is mainly with the government, the city, the provincial government. And if you are an organization based, you must have one strong link, and that is you must know who's who in the zoo. And I say that openly. You have to know everybody in the zoo. If you know everybody in the zoo, you will be able to link and network. Now, my network, I've got a very powerful network base. I'm very proud of that, both local, national, international. If you want somebody from Timbuktu, you bet your life I'll get you from Timbuktu. So you've got to be very strong on your network. I get simple questions. I've got one frustrated member who told me the other day, Arifa, please help me. I am getting really frustrated with one of the telephone companies and they couldn't get through with it and they were having a hard time. I said, all right, send me who you're looking for, what you're looking for. He sent me the message. I did some digging. I got the contact of the topmost guy in there. Gave the contact and I sent it immediately to him. For me, the main thing is do not have obstacles. If you have an obstacle, find a solution. If you want a solution, Who is your best friend? You are associated and affiliated to an organization. And I always tell that the most important thing, and this is what South Africans miss out on. If you are a business person, you must be affiliated or associated with an organization. Don't be the lonely person. Alone you cannot do it. But as a voice, we can fight. I mean, I have members who have problems with the city day in, day out. They send me the messages, I just connect them, and they know, and I'm so glad that the provincial government, both the city and the provision, they know me very well, and they know that I will not knock on their door unless it is necessary. I'm not going to be there moaning, groaning. I have no time for that. But I want you to be there. If you're the city that is working for us, then work for my members. After all, we are paying our taxes, and that is paying your salary over there. Wecbof as a body plays a very important role, especially where we are fighting for funding for our SMMEs. It is an area that you can talk from here to doomsday. It's not going to be enough. One of the areas that we found, and it was challenging when the government, the provincial government said, here is the funding that we are going to use for helping our SMMEs during this time. And you know what was the thing that came out the worst? Many of our SMEs, not only my members, some of my members, but many in general, were not compliant. And it was such a challenge, Simon, let me tell you this, that people don't realize the value of being compliant. You are a citizen of a country. So your duty is to make sure that you follow the legislation of that country. It is your duty. I don't care what people say, but I believe that if you are earning something, then you owe something to that country. And that is when SARS comes in. But here, you want to grow, you want to talk about the government is not helping you, but how can they help you when you are not compliant? And there are steps that you have to take for compliance. So what I spent, I think last year, it was 3 months of challenging. Practically every day, 15 new companies were being compliant from my office. And I was doing that on my own because I had to make sure that get this paperwork. And they all had the paper. All they did was they didn't know how to put it together. And this time, at this stage, when I had a board meeting I think a month ago, the board decided, they said, Arifa, we're going to get on with it and we're going to be the first stop for our members and non-members I invited over there to help them out with certain issues. One of the things is the Poppy Act that is coming into legislation on the 1st of July. Simon, if I had to send this out to my members, I will get 1% who will say, yes, we know about it and we are trying to get compliant. The challenge here is, how do we break the Poppy Act news in a layman's language? That is what I have taken up. So on the 7th of July, I'm having my first webinar for my members and non-members, where I've got a speaker who is going to be talking only. And look, we are all getting fatigued with Zooms and webinars. I am one of them. I am tired. I do get tired. I don't know about other people, but I do get tired for that 1 hour, 3 hours. No. This is going to be only 45 minutes. 20 minutes on the speaker, 10 minutes on my host, question and answers, but to put across an idea. And if you need more information on more about the puppy, then tell us. We will give you the contacts and everything. It's a win-win situation. My members come to know everything. Excellent. But moreover, the person who is doing the presentation will get an input and the marketing for it. So, you know, I'm an Indian. I like to see what is in it for the person at the end of the day. There must be profit at the end of the day. There must be good news. We'll be having that, and we'll be doing the small trainings at cost prices. The information sessions are going to be free. And this is what Wecbof is busy at the moment. So next month, my members are going to be revived into saying, okay, they've been fighting with me to get on with my breakfast session. I've got a very favorite network session called breakfast session we used to have where we met physically. And I told them we can have a Zoom network breakfast. We'll have a cup of tea and enjoy ourselves with some nice cool cucumbers and all that. No, they said, no, we need you, Arifa. We need you to give us that push, that motivation, and get us out of our sits. I said, but I can't. I have cancelled 3 of those kind of meetings. Every time when I see that we are now on stage 1, I think it's free. We'll be able to take 20 people at a time. But the time when the news go out and everything, we are on stage 2. And now we are going to be fighting for stage 4 or stage 5. I don't know. God help us with that. So here it is what the crux of the matter is. SMMEs are facing challenges left, right and center. Be it in business, be it in their personal life, it's all affecting because we're all working from home. These changes are playing, I don't know what to say, it's playing such a drastic role. Some of them have been able to overcome it and climb up, but the others, no. We have to look after them, Simon. If we do not pick up that challenge and help our SMMEs, we are in a fix. Do you know that my board members, when we had a meeting last month, they made actually to decide whether Wecbof should carry on or not. Yes, it had come to that stage, but I am so happy to say that the board that I have are such dynamic people. They said, no, Arifa, we know you're giving your time up and everything on this, but we need it. We must be there. We cannot just close this. We've got other organizations also, but we are here for our people. These are the people they look and they said, no, there is Wecbof. Wecbof will always answer, give us an answer. Be it with the academic institutions. I work with UCity, I work with CPUT. And they are the ones that always allow us to give that chance. They said, no, Rifa, we need you. You always have that contact. You always have that connection that allows us to be open with our ideas. And thank God I'm very open, I'm very frank, and if I find that somebody is doing something wrong, I don't stop by just being polite and carry them to go ahead, you're doing a good job. No, I will tell you are doing a wrong job or a bad job. Somebody's got to be honest sometimes, Simon. And I think Wecbof is one area that I find myself at this stage really enjoying working and helping my SMMEs out. Because I think that when you get up in the morning, you should have that oomph in you and say, you know what? Life is good. We've got to work. We will overcome. We will overcome this COVID. COVID cannot be the winner in this. We've got to be the winners in it.
How can SMMEs overcome these stumbling blocks?
A very good question. One of the things that I've learned in this 1.5 year of COVID is to redefine what an entrepreneur is. We've got our theory of who an entrepreneur should be and everything, but this 1.5 year has actually changed the mindset. And we as consultants and advisors, I'm a mentor, I've got my own mentoring program, I had to redefine a whole lot of areas in entrepreneurship. One of the areas is I have put technology as the first thing. And I've asked members, especially business owners, to redefine how they react to their employees. Very important. At the end of the day, it is the employees that is going to help you carry on what you want to do at the bottom line. But if an employer doesn't realize that if he does not change or she does not change the attitude towards the employees, then he is in for a downfall or she is in for a downfall there. And this has come out very clear in our 1.5 year of COVID-19. These are the areas that I keep on talking. And then I've asked many people, and this is very, very good, I tell you, is to redefine and relook at their vision and mission. When we start businesses, we have that vision and mission, excited about it, we put everything. And after that, it stays in a cupboard, nice cobwebs and everything. And I know of people who phoned me after I spoke about it on the radio. Somebody phoned me and I don't know him from bar of soap, Simon, and he tells me, Arifa, I was listening to your phone, your talk today, and you talked about vision and mission. You know, I'm very angry. I said, oh dear, what did I say? He says, no, I'm angry with myself, Arifa. The last time I looked at my vision and mission was 20 years ago. I said, oh God. My message went across. So these are the things that we need to look at, and we have to redefine the usage of our company resources. Now we are doing things mainly from home and everything. So find a way and see what is good and what is not good. And also, if you are putting your workers working from home, try and make sure there is someone dedicated to follow up with them. This is an area remember, nobody was going to work from home. We were not trained to work from home. I didn't know how to do my timetable. How do I look at it? I had people who were saying, oh, at 9 o'clock at night working on, I said, what? I said, stop it at once, switch it off. You work from 8:30 to 4 o'clock at the office. Your timing here should be 8:30 to 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, you switch off and you become the person you are. Oh, but Arifa, my boss, I said, no, he has no right over you after your 4 o'clock. No right, let me tell you. I can give you the basic employment rules and I'll tell you how you can save yourself on it. But you must learn to follow a timetable. And the employers need to have that. I did a training session with CPUT to get their employers to suit the timing working from home. And when we did that, they realized and they said, it's true, Arifa, we take it for granted that we've got to carry on work and work and work till, I had people who were working till midnight. I said, no, I close my shop at 3 o'clock and it is switched off. I want to play with my cat. I want to play with my grandchildren. I want to relax and watch a soapy. That's my time. So these are the things that we have to look into. And the other thing is start looking at your cash flow now. Remember, your cash flow is going to decrease. It's shrinking now because you're not getting that much money in. So how do you readjust that? Talk to your accountants. And if you don't have an accountant, find an accountant. Please, people, don't try and get an accountant who is a friend, because it's better to pay somebody and get the work done. These are the little hints. As a mentor, I always pass it on. I tell them to look into themselves. Don't be demotivated. Motivate yourself, because when you become motivated, you motivate the rest of the world. These are my tips.
What are some of the areas where you have seen SMMEs struggle and need specific help?
You mustn't stop yourself. You mustn't close yourself. And if you have a problem, go and look for an answer. There is someone always there to help you. Let me tell you, there is. You cannot be the solo person, closed up. No. I always tell people, you are wasting your time for 3 months on this? And you never thought of phoning me or asking me? Oh, Arifa, we were wondering. No, that's your fault, I said. I have no problem. You can email me, you can WhatsApp me. Yes, sometimes I'm slow with the WhatsApp, I hate the phone. But email, yes, I get an email. Within 24 hours, an answer is there. And if I can't find the answer, I will find a solution.
What advice can you offer SMMEs and people who want to start their own SMME?
I'm telling you, this is top of my, on all the questions you write, this is the top one that you've given me now. I'll tell you why. I get lots of people who are the wannabe entrepreneurs, who dream about being an entrepreneur. My advice, and I always give a talk on this, is that if you have a job, please stay with your job. We are going through difficult times. That you need a pipeline, the income pipeline. It must always be there. So keep that pipeline. But Saturday and Sundays or your evenings when you're alone does not stop you or prevent you from putting down whatever you want to do on a piece of paper. I always tell people that do not just think and dream about it. You've got to write it down. The moment you write it down, you're committed. Let me tell you, it works like a nagging little thing that you've put. I wrote it down, you're going to follow it. Once you write it down, then you start doing research on it. I have given talks, or I get meetings, especially from my radio shows, that people tell me, Arifa, I've got an idea. Do you think we can have time? I said, okay, we have a Zoom meeting. In the Zoom meeting, I usually tell them, these are the things that I call them the homework that people have to do. I said, do you know what it entails to become an entrepreneur? I tell them these are the things, like the compliancy. I give them the 5 tastes of compliances, that you've got to look for a name. You've got to go and register yourself and make sure. And while you are doing all that, you're having your income, please make sure you're putting 50 Rand at least, or 100 Rand at least in a kitty. And that is going to be your capital towards your business that you're going to start. Business doesn't come in the air. When you go and book you register your company, you got to pay. When you get your banking account, you want to open a bank account, you got to pay money to the bank. It's the other way around in the rest of the world, but in South Africa, we pay the bank to let the banks stay alive. It's supposed to. I know you're laughing at it, but I always look at it that way. And all these little things have to be added. And then I tell them, now that you've got your idea, I want you to start thinking on what you are going to do. Have you done your target research? Where's your market? Because remember, every entrepreneur thinks that now that I've got this thing, everybody's going to buy it. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be I'll be having a 4x4 outside. Unfortunately, no, Simon. It doesn't happen like that. You've got to work, and I always tell them, give themselves a year and a half. I have got people who have actually decided to leave their jobs and start the business. But before they did, somebody very nicely told them, have a talk with Arifa. And then when they have a talk with me of 1 hour, 2 hours, it goes down to 3 hours sometimes, just to let them realize that, yes, it's a good idea, but, that but comes there. And I give them the reasons why. It's not that I discourage them, but I want them to be ready. I said, when you remember one thing, when you stop that job and you have decided that I'm going to be an entrepreneur, make sure you have got at least 6 to 9 months money in the bank to pay your salary, because you're not going to be paid a salary. You won't have the luxuries of what you are used to. That will come face to face the first month. When you say, oh my God, I don't have the salary now, how do I get the money? So that money that you keep, you only pay yourself that much amount, not the full amount, that much amount only, not the full amount, remember, to carry on for the next 9 months of your life in this business that you want to start. Then slowly you'll start seeing the returns. It will take a year before you start saying, oh, I can't pay myself a salary now. Understand? These are the tiny things that our entrepreneurs tend to forget. And they need to speak to consultants. They need to speak to somebody who's been there and done it. And when people come to and talk to me and ask me advice, I just give them. I hit them below the belt and they say, Arifa, you don't hide things. I said, why should I hide things? Tomorrow you will say, Arifa never told us that this is going to be there, or SARS is going to come and pounce on me. I said, no. What I went through, I'm telling you. Because this is personal experiences that I talk about, Simon. I am not going to talk about anything in the books that I've learned. Sometimes I hardly ever use that. It's my personal experiences that I've been using in my mentorship and everything. And I'm proud to say the type of mentees that I've had in the years that I've mentored, they are doing so well. I mean, I can sit back and pat myself and say, well done, Arifa, you're leaving a legacy behind. I know what I'm doing.
How important is it for SMMEs in the Western Cape to connect and network with Wecbof?
I would just like to end up by saying that, people need to understand that Wecbof is there and it's going to be staying over there. I am still the CEO. I don't know for how long, but I am there. My doors are open. They can get in touch with me on my phone. It's usually at my office. Although I don't work from the office, I work from home, and my office number is 021 946 2519. People get in touch with me very often over there, and they send me the messages here, or they can get in touch with me on my email, arifa@wecbof.co.za. I also have my own mentoring program. People need to be on mentoring, they can get in touch with me. I'm part of the Alan Gray Orbis Foundation mentorship program. I do my own mentoring. I do the Black Umbrella mentorship also. So I love doing that. That is the part that I enjoy. One of the areas that I'm enjoying at the moment is I'm the chairperson of an NPC called Cooktastic Hub. You must go and visit it. It's at the Salt River, and it is training young chefs. And we're doing very well over there. Yes, you must come and go on our website of Cooktastic, one word, and see what we are doing. These are the things that allows me to get up in the morning and really enjoy life. And I'd like to end up by saying that believe in yourself, believe in your capacity to do good and great things. Believe that no mountain is so high you cannot climb it. Believe that no storm is so great that you cannot weather it. Believe in yourself. These are the words of Gordon B. Hinckley. And I love his quote. I believe in it. Thank you.
It's been great chatting to you, Arifa, and thanks for sharing your insights.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
That was Arifa Parker from the Western Cape Business Opportunities Forum.